If you want to see how I made this glam shelf, then stay tuned. The items you're going to need: four of these Novena style candles. Now you can get these at the Dollar Tree or any grocery store. You want to make sure that you get four that are new, never used, and so they're more sturdy. And also they're the same size because sometimes they're a little thicker or sometimes they're a little taller. So make sure you get four exact ones and that they're full and new. You also need a pen, scissors, a ruler, and you're going to need some sticky back felt. You can get this in Joann's or Michael's. It's only like 30 cents or something, 25 cents, but you want the sticky back kind, and you want it to be the color of your shelf. And then you'll want some scrapbook paper. I happen to have gotten this glitter paper that is self-sticking, but as you'll see, it's a mess. And you'll want a shelf, of course, and you can get this. This is one I just happen to have hanging around, but you can get one in Lowe's or Home Depot, someplace like that. So yeah, this paper is very glittery. I wanted silver glitter, and I got silver glitter. But this has self-sticking. Now, if you don't get the self-sticking paper, you can use glue to glue it down or adhesive tape. So what you want to do is measure your candle, the height of it onto the paper so that you can cut the paper down to size. And just use a ruler to do that. Make sure you get a nice straight clean cut. And then you're going to want to take the candle after you get it cut, after you get the paper cut to the length of the candle. You want to take the candle and roll it in the paper so that you can figure out how much paper you need to cover the entire candle. So go ahead and roll it like this. And you want it to overlap just a little bit so that you don't have a gap. And then just mark where you're going to cut it. And also rolling it helps to make the paper curved so that you can get it onto the candle nice and smooth when it's time to adhere it permanently. And then just use a ruler to mark off the paper so that you have an even line there as well. As you can see, this glitter paper is very glittery. I was going to get regular scrapbook paper that wasn't adhesive back, and then I saw this and thought, oh, how wonderful. And it's very sticky. I got this at Joann's. So now you want to take your candle and make sure you got the paper going the right way. And just stick your candle. I'm putting the seam of the paper in the same area as the label of the candle so that that can be facing back just in case. So however you're going to, you can use glue, adhesive, tape, or whatever. Just roll your candle onto the paper and stick it down good. You want to make sure as best you can to get the top and bottom even, but it's going to be uneven and you can always trim it off. But yes, make sure you seal those ends down really good and you got it covered. Look at all this glitter. And then if you do have some uneven on the top and the bottom, you want to make sure it's even or even a little bit below the glass so that it's level. So there you go. That's the top and there's the bottom. And you want to do that for all four candles. So after you get all four ready to go, you want to place them in the position of wherever your shelf is going to go. Now my shelf has that little curvature there, as you can see. It's wide in the back and narrow in the front. So just I'm taking into account for that, obviously. But if yours is completely rectangle, you'll want to have your candle stands about the same length, in the same position, front and back. But you just want to make sure that you put them in, get it lined up where it's most sturdy and giving the best coverage. And then take your thing off the shelf and then measure the top of the width of your candles, the diameter. And then make 4 pieces of the black sticky back felt to cover that, and even just a little bit bigger. I think my candle was like 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and I made my black square pieces 3 by 3 inches just to have enough coverage. And then sit them on top with the sticky part facing up so that it sticks to your shelf. And then sit your shelf on top just lightly and then pick it back up, and then you'll see that the felt is now stuck to the shelf. And then just press them down. And you just want to press them down in the area that it is because that's where it's going to stay. And if they are a little crooked or whatever, you can pick it up here and stick it back down. So that's why you want to press it on very lightly. And then next thing you want to do is take your candle and just kind of trace the bottom onto the sticky back felt. You want to make 4 circles. And this is just to make sure that the glass isn't sliding around on your surface. So if you put that felt on there, it just gives a little more friction, and that's the purpose of putting the felt on the bottom of the shelf as well, so that the shelf isn't sliding along the glass around the glass of that candle, just for a little more security. So you got 4 circles, and you want to take the sticky side and stick it to the bottom of each of the candles. And that's the great thing about having the sticky back felt. Of course, if you can't find the sticky back felt, you can use glue, but the sticky back felt works really, really well. So, and just make sure it's stuck on there nice and good. And if you need to trim it a little bit, go ahead and trim. It doesn't have to be perfect, a perfect circle, of course, just as long as it's covering the bottom. So there you go. You got the black felt on all bottoms. And next thing you can do is put your shelf back on top and just sit it on there. And then what you'll want to do is just maneuver your candles to go make sure that they're under those black felt squares that you stuck to the bottom of your shelf, and that everything is even and secure and sturdy and not wobbly. So you want to do all that, and there you go. This is the outcome. This is my new beauty space, and I live in a small space, so I had to use up part of my desk, but I don't have a huge makeup collection, so I don't have a need for a lot of space. But as you can see, I'm decorating it a little bit with some inspirational things that I love to look at, and I have my makeup and a brand new Glam shelf that I love, that works for me to give me just a little extra space. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share.